Johnson in my studio in Tucson, Arizona, where I've lived for a number of years. I'm originally from New Jersey, and I studied painting at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts in Philadelphia. I started making artwork long before then, though. As a kid, my parents encouraged me to be creative, which I'm really grateful for. And as an only child, drawing was a fun solo activity. But more than that, I think at an early age, I realized that if you spend enough time with a piece of paper and a pencil, amazing things can happen, you know, that three-dimensional worlds can emerge. And I loved that, it's a sort of a magic, really. And it's still what fuels me in the studio to this day, chasing after that wonderful alchemy of mixing together these very simple materials on a surface and having these worlds come forth and to be able to communicate that way with others. I love that. I first came to Martha's Vineyard years ago to visit the Field Gallery, and it was in the winter time, so it was cold and it was quiet and most things were shut down, and I loved it. It was spectacular. And I remember driving around the island and hiking and then getting down to the beach, bundled up, and just this wonderful energy of the island. It felt like home instantly. And every year that I visit, I get that same feeling all over again. And my favorite place to visit on the island, hands down, is the beach at Gay Head. I love that place. It's one of my most favorite places on the planet. There's something about those beautiful, dramatic clay cliffs coming down and meeting the beach, and you've got the ocean and the sky and all of those elemental forces interacting and conversing with each other. And then there you are, right in the middle of it, right? It's exhilarating, and it's really calming at the same time. And I've painted that location, I've painted that beach a number of times over the years. And most recently, I've been doing these stone circle paintings that are still life paintings, and they're trompe-l'oeil paintings in one regard, but they're also landscape paintings in that they're very much about place. There's something about stone collecting for me. When I'm hiking along or walking along the beach, even if you just pick up a stone for a short while and then set it back down, there's something about physically engaging with that space, that place, and just the way a stone fits in the hand, you know, or the certain colors in it. And so these paintings are very much about each individual stone and their own attributes. Each one is like its own little planet, right? But then if collected, they're very much a story of that place. They're kind of a deep landscape painting about the geology, the history of that particular location. And I see those paintings also as a sort of a call to presence, to stand in front of one of those paintings and feel your own body and feel your own presence in the landscape as being important, and to find yourself as an important part of the story of a place. That's very much what those paintings are about. It's about connecting to the landscape in a real, true, and genuine way. You know, there's so many rewards of being an artist, but I have to say the top of the list is connection, and connecting with people through my work. I've got all the things that are in my brain that go into the paintings, but then to talk to people and find out about the connections, the memories, the thoughts that my work inspires in them, I love that. I love that conversation that comes out of that. And that's really what I feel like art is all about. It's about connecting people and connecting thoughts and connecting intentions and feelings about the world. And I create in a way because I feel like I almost have to. I don't feel like myself if I'm not making something. Most often that's a painting But even when I'm not in the studio, even when I'm just out in the world, I love thinking about painting or thinking about a new project, and having that be almost a place to stand from and take in the world. And it's I guess in a way it's almost a mode of thinking and integrating, everything that's happening in my life, and you kind of figuring it out almost, which I found that is so valuable to me. My work is really, it's about this sense of awe that I feel about the world, about just being alive, right? It's a spectacular thing. We get so, we can get so busy in our lives and get distracted from the fact that just being here is this amazing gift, being present right now. And, no matter what the subject is in my work, whether it's a bird in flight or just a single feather from that bird, or a paintbrush that has, seen years of use, these subjects, to me, when I'm able to focus in on them, they kind of weed out the rest of the world. But yet, when you're looking at just this singular object or subject, you also can see the whole world within it. And it becomes this wonderful focus moment for me, just to contemplate myself, being here, present. And I hope that my work offers that to others. Just a moment to breathe, to stop, to reflect, and really just marvel at how wonderful life is. The natural world has always been the biggest inspiration for me. But I'd say especially so now. I've just felt this need to go out for a hike or a run, or even at night just step outside and look up at the stars for a few minutes, just to touch and connect with that larger reality. And it's just been essential for me in the studio and beyond. The coolest thing that I learned lately is that monarch butterflies see polarized ultraviolet light, which means that they can see the direction that light is going, even on a cloudy day. So it was a navigational tool that allows them to get around. So I kind of imagine their vision almost like being filled with compasses, right? And what does that look like? It's just spectacular thinking about. And of course, we have this human-centric way of experiencing the world. But that's one of the reasons why I love painting these non-human subjects, because it really gets me to think about what is it like to be a monarch butterfly, and what does the world look like as a monarch butterfly. And it kind of makes me reevaluate my own way of looking at the world and see it as spectacular. So yeah, I love those kinds of details. I do have a diverse range of subjects in my work, and I always have. I can see that that's a pattern that goes way back for me, and I think that comes from sheer curiosity. I am so interested in exploring different subjects, but also seeing what this medium of paint can do. And seeing the different ways that it can be used. Kind of in the process along the way. So yeah, these different subjects, they call to me in a way, just from that sheer exploratory spirit, and it happens when I'm out in the world. It's not premeditated. I may be hiking and I just see a certain vantage point of a landscape and it just calls out to me, or I could be rummaging through a box of old tools at a swap meet, and one of them just has this amazing patina on it of use, and I just feel like I've got to paint it. And in some ways, I feel like my subjects choose me versus me choosing them. And in the studio, I feel like I'm kind of merely answering the call to paint them, and I figure out in the process what it is that I'm so interested in, or what it is that I'm so curious about. It's not premeditated. It's true exploration of that subject. And only in painting them, I feel like I really kind of get to the heart of where my interests lie with them. And yeah, I find that really fascinating and satisfying creatively. That's where it's at. If I could only have one food to eat, it would be a sandwich. I think I just, sandwiches offer the ultimate creative flexibility. You know, you can put in whatever you want, and every sandwich is its own interesting combination. And yeah, I could easily do a sandwich every meal, hands down, no problem.